All right, good Wednesday morning, everybody. We're halfway through the week, and we're talking about some Saharan dust impacting air quality today and tomorrow. And that's going to start this morning, and just a few things to talk about. Obviously, this can irritate those who suffer from asthma, any respiratory illness, COPD, emphysema, all things that can impact that can result in the impact of Saharan dust moving in. And I think it'll be dense between now and tomorrow night. By Friday, it should improve, and we'll show you the forecast in a second. What it also brings is sunrises and sunsets, the vibrant colors in the atmosphere. You'll see brighter colors of orange and red in the mornings and evenings. And I think starting tonight, you'll see a nice sunset with a few clouds moving through. More dust is expected through tomorrow, and this also suppresses tropical cyclone development, meaning we're in hurricane season, and anytime there's dust out there, you don't see many hurricanes form, which is why these last several weeks, ever since Beryl moved through Houston and parts of southeast Texas, we haven't seen much, because behind that system was a lot of dust in the Atlantic, the Caribbean, and the Gulf of Mexico. Okay, let's take a look. So between now and tonight, by 9 p.m. this evening, there's still a lot of dust around, especially the farther east and southeast you go, towards Corpus Christi, towards Galveston, Houston. I think the Texas coast will be a good focal point for a lot of dust in the atmosphere in moderate to high amounts tonight. And again, just to reiterate, that'll create a nice sunset, vibrant colors in the atmosphere, just kind of peaking in color with the red and orange colors. By tomorrow afternoon, it starts to thin out slowly. By about 1 o'clock, you'll see in San Antonio still a good amount of dust hanging around. By tomorrow night, though, and into Friday and Saturday, you can see it really moves out. There will be some lingering small amount of dust near Dallas, East Texas, towards Louisiana, and some of that may move in our direction by this weekend, but most of it should be out of our hair and out of the area by Thursday night and Friday morning. And if you look outside closely, you can kind of see some of that haze. It's not too pronounced, but notice in some of those shots, especially in the two cameras on the top of Morgan's Wonderland Camp, Calaveras Lake, you can see some of the blue in the sky, but off in the distance, you see that haze, that milky color, and that is impacting air quality, and that is the dust in the atmosphere moving in from the south and will continue to push northward. Matter of fact, let me take off this right here. With our Skycam, I'll eventually turn that towards downtown San Antonio, but notice you can't see much behind those buildings. That is the haze just surrounding and shrouding us with, again, the haze and the Saharan dust in the sky. At the airport, it's not too intense, but I do expect this to really start to ramp up in the next coming hours here in San Antonio. Okay, speaking of temperature-wise, we're sitting in the 80s right now. 85 feels like 92. Heat index is there because of a dew point at 73. Compared to yesterday, that dew point was right around 76. Now it's coming down slightly, but it will still be very humid today. A high temperature near 96, 97. And with that heat index, I think we start to really climb into the lower to mid 100s, 103, 104, 105 with the heat index. Again, air temperatures should be staying right in the upper 90s, but the heat index goes a little bit farther than that, especially with high amounts of moisture content and humidity in the atmosphere. And no big surprises. You can see maybe a sprinkle out west, but otherwise it is quiet here in the area. Mostly clear skies, a lot of the cloud cover dissipating, but in return and in exchange, the Saharan dust moving in from the south, and that's what's going to impact our air quality later on today. Okay, today's forecast, middle to upper 90s. This model is depicting maybe 97 to 98 in the city. Middle 90s across the hill country from Bernie to Fredericksburg to Kerrville, 100s in Del Rio, Eagle Pass at 101 this afternoon, and then lower middle 90s towards the Texas coast between Beeville, Georgia West, and near Port Lavaca and Matagorda Bay. Okay, impact alerts between now and Friday, specifically for air quality and the haze in the sky. If you suffer from any respiratory illness, any asthma, COPD, this is the time where you're going to want to limit your time and duration outside. Just because with more moving in, that's going to result in poor air quality. It'll be hazy, it'll be dusty outside. It'll result in watery eyes, itchy nose, coughing, sneezing, things like that. Those are some of the allergy-like symptoms that associate with Saharan dust moving in. By tomorrow, 98, 99 Friday, and then on Friday, the dust should be out. It should be mostly clear, but it will be hot, and with an air temperature near 99, and then you tag on that high dew point, high humidity value, it's going to feel more like 104 to 106, with high pressure really our main factor in the weather department. You can see between now and Saturday, it moves from Texas to the west, between New Mexico, Colorado, and I think that's where it'll be stronger, towards the weekend. Although it still has its grip on us between now and Saturday. So although it's moving farther west, that's the good news. It's still large enough to have an influence on our weather pattern. So I think between now and Friday, upper 90s, right around 100 on Saturday, and about 99 to 100 on Sunday. And it's not until the middle of next week when things start to trend down slightly. But I think overall this pattern will stay locked in for quite some time. Rainfall forecast almost non-existent. You can see as we put this in motion through the weekend and early next week, all the rain stays east between Florida, the Carolinas, towards the Midwest, and we just don't see much in our forecast here in Texas. And this will be the case for the next several days and likely for the first week or two of August as well. Okay, weather impact alert days for today, tomorrow, and Friday. And notice on Saturday, 100 degrees. We haven't hit 100 in a few weeks. I think we hit it a couple of times in June and late May, but because of the rain, the cloud cover, this July has been a little cooler than normal. Obviously, it's still been hot, but now we're returning back to a July pattern. August begins on Thursday officially, 99 Friday, 100 on Saturday. When you factor in the humidity, it'll feel more like 104 to 106 at times. We could even see higher values east and southeast of San Antonio, where the humidity values will fluctuate a little bit more. But again, that's the forecast. Small chance at rain, only 10% Sunday and Monday. That's straight isolated showers. Temperatures start to trend near average. Remember, early August is the peak in our average temperatures. In other words, it is the hottest time of year between August 1st and I think about August 15th, we peak in temperatures, and that's what we're doing. Upper 90s through the next several days and weeks, right around 100 on Saturday, and then 97 next Friday and next Saturday, with no significant chances for rain aside from Sunday and Monday. Only some spotty activity at most to wrap up the weekend and for the first Monday of August. We'll leave it on the forecast a little longer, guys. Have a great Wednesday and be safe.